It's high noon in St. Augustine, 12 noon exactly, 71 degrees downtown. Not too bad for this, the fourth day of December. And we're live, and we've got some very, very special guests with us here in the studio. Karen is here with me. She's part of our team at WSOS, but we also have Mike Sanflippo. He is the music director for the St. Augustine Community Chorus, and he's going to introduce a special guest that he's brought along with him as well. Karen, good afternoon.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, so Mike, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Big series of concerts coming up, of course, December 15th and the 16th, Saturday and Sunday at the Cathedral Basilica downtown. You guys have done this before, but talk to me a little bit about what's going to happen next weekend.
Well, this year is the 70th anniversary of the chorus, and so we kind of have a few special things happening this year, and we're really looking forward to it. Today we have Peter Matthews with us. He's a composer, a local composer, and we commissioned Peter to write a piece for us, and it's going really beautifully. So a little bit later we can talk to Peter about that.
Yeah. Well, Peter, welcome. Thanks for being
Thanks
here.
so much.
Yeah, and it lives close by to us here in St. Augustine as well. 70 years for the community chorus. Kind of give us a little bit of a sense of the history of the chorus, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I know that in 1948, Bill Dixon, who was music director, actually in different churches, but he was music director of the church where I am, Grace United Methodist, at that time, I believe. Bill Dixon started a performance of the Messiah in 1948, and that then became a tradition and turned eventually into the community chorus as it is now. They only did one concert a year back then, but for the last at least 15 to 20 years, they've been doing three.
Right.
A Pops concert in March and a Masterworks in May.
You can learn more about what we're talking about, too. The event taking place Saturday, December 15th. That's a 7:30 in the evening show, and then a Sunday matinee, December 16th. Tickets and more information at staugustincommunitychorus.org. That's staugustincommunitychorus.org. We're going to put all this information up on our Facebook page here in just a moment, so you'll have all that available. Incredibly affordable, obviously, to go, and just a great experience. Kind of explain for our listeners out there, we're listening to, classic hits and typical more modern music, what the experience is going to be like, Mike, if they go to one of these concerts.
I think folks will hear some things that are new and some things that are familiar. We will do a few different carols and stuff that are well known. In a little bit, I'd like to talk a little bit about Silent Night because it's also the 200th anniversary of Silent Night.
Oh, wow.
And a gentleman who's very much involved in research of Silent Night and the whole Austrian music contacted me about it. It was very interesting to find out that the tune that we know is a little bit different than the original tune. So he provided an autograph manuscript of an arrangement that Gruber, the composer, made himself. And so the tune's a little bit different than we know. So we're going to sing it. We'll have a tenor soloist singing it first, then we'll sing it, and then we're going to try to teach the audience the original version.
Oh, wow.
It's almost the one you know, but...
And that's typical, too, of the kinds of concerts that the St. Augustine Community Chorus does, right? Where you're really involved in entertaining and making sure the audience has a fun time, right?
Yes, absolutely. And, we're a non-audition chorus, but folks work hard and we do good concerts. And really looking forward to this particular one. Gaudete is actually an old 16th century tune or a carol. And the setting, though, by Michael Engelhardt is very modern in that he sets it with, obviously, chorus and percussion. And some of the percussion is even some found objects, like it's scored for, some traditional drums and, tom-tom and snare and things, but also brake drum and steel plate and pipes and things like that. So,
That's fun.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. So
a lot of fun. Once again, the St. Augustine Community Chorus. Their holiday performances will take place Saturday, December 15th at 7:30 in the evening at the Cathedral Basilica. Sunday, December 16th at 2 o'clock. Of course, that's all downtown. And the Cathedral, actually a pretty phenomenal place for music, right?
Oh,
Mike?
It sure is. They do a lot of great concerts there, and it's a wonderful place to sing. And it's Yeah, it's especially at Christmas time. It's decorated. It's really really
Yeah.
beautiful. And we've been working for many years with the Basilica, and the staff there is great. And they have two wonderful organs, and a wonderful organist who is our accompanist for this concert. That's Shannon McKay, and it's a pleasure to work with her.
Well, and indeed, you'll not only have an organist, but you'll be accompanied on some of these pieces by brass and percussion and strings, right?
Yes. In fact, there's a brass octet for one of the pieces. That's a piece called Odie, which means today or this day, by Randall Stroop. And that's the largest, one of the larger pieces on the program. It's a 3-movement work, and full of brass and percussion and organ, and lots of singing. And we'll also include the youth chorus, the St. Augustine Youth Chorus, directed by Kerry Fradley, will be with us. The youth chorus is under the umbrella of the community chorus. We support them, and it's a really important part of keeping choral art alive here in town.
Well, once again, very exciting. This, of course, the 70th anniversary of the St. Augustine Community Chorus. Their holiday event concert series, once again, taking place Saturday and Sunday, December 15th and 16th, so just not too far off here, just within the next couple of weeks. The Saturday night show at 7:30, a Sunday performance at 2 o'clock. You can learn more by going to staugustincommunitychorus.org. That's staugustincommunitychorus.org. We're going to spend some more time with Mike. We're going to have Peter Matthews join the conversation as well, so stay tuned. All right, so we had to play a little bit of Christmas music to kind of get in the spirit, right, Karen?
Absolutely. It's getting to be that season, even though there are palm trees when I look out the window.
And it's 70 degrees outside, but that's okay. It's going to get colder tonight. Tomorrow's high only 57 degrees, so that'll get you in the Christmas spirit. I'll tell you what will definitely get you in the Christmas spirit, and that's attending the St. Augustine Community Chorus holiday event, which is going to take place both on Saturday and Sunday. 2 shows. Saturday show, December 15th at 7:30 in the evening. Sunday's show, sort of a matinee, if you will, at 2 o'clock. Both shows, of course, both performances at the Cathedral Basilica, which is a beautiful venue for this sort of thing. And that's, of course, in downtown St. Augustine. There'll be a special appearance by the St. Augustine Youth Chorus as well. Tickets are available at staugustincommunitychorus.org, and it pays to get them in advance. They're a little less expensive. staugustincommunitychorus.org, but there's some great discounts for active duty military. Children under the age of 10 get to go for no charge at all. And we appreciate Mike Sanflippo joining us again. He's been on the air with us numerous times. And Mike, you brought along a very special guest, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Peter Matthews is here. And I think it's probably one of the first times ever we've ever had a composer in here, which is funny because all we do is play music all the time, and you would think that we'd have a composer, right?
Really?
Yeah, that's sort of bizarre. But wow. Peter, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you have written a piece specifically for the St. Augustine Community Chorus, correct?
Right, exactly.
So tell me about it. Tell us about it.
Well, the text is What's Sweeter Music? It's a poem by Robert Herrick, the 17th century English author. And Mike wanted me to involve the youth chorus as well as the community chorus, which is quite large. So we just came up with the idea that we'd start the piece with hopefully a nice melody for the youth to sing, for the youth chorus to sing. And so they kind of introduce the melody at the beginning. And then the melody comes back toward the end of the work for full chorus.
Right.
So we kind of have an ABA feeling with a middle section, which is a little different from a little more movement, a little more rhythm than the initial portrayal of the text, which is a really beautiful text. What sweeter music can we bring than a carol for to sing the birth of this our heavenly King? So it's a little bit of a lullaby feeling at the beginning, I would say. And then it goes into a revel in the middle section, and we celebrate the birth and kind of trumpet fanfare type feeling, and then we come back with the hopefully really gorgeous melody at the end.
It is.
So I guess, and Mike, you have to direct this piece, right? So it's a brand new piece. So from a conductor's perspective, what sort of challenges does that present?
Well, Peter knows the voice really well, and all the lines are very singable and weren't so difficult to teach. And Peter was great at creating some fresh harmonies, especially in this B section he mentioned, because the drama builds there, and that it starts with this kind of place of darkness and how we move to light with the birth. So it's a wonderful piece, and just it was wonderful to work on it. The chorus is enjoying it. The kids, I worked with them just last week. Carrie prepared them, but I worked with them last week, and they're sounding really, really good. And I know it's all going to come together beautifully, especially once we've been rehearsing, of course, with piano, but Shannon will be playing, this is scored for organ, and I know that's going to bring a whole nother dimension to the piece.
Right, Shannon does a really beautiful job. The piece takes about 4 minutes altogether, so it's not over long, but it's long enough.
This will be the premiere of that piece, What Sweeter Music, along with a lot of traditional Christmas carols that everybody's going to love to sing along to, and some selections from Messiah as well. So you'll cover all of your Christmas music bases, right, Mike?
Sure thing.
Yeah, it'll be a great experience for anyone at any age. Once again, the St. Augustine Community Chorus event taking place at the Cathedral Basilica Saturday, December 15th, Sunday, December 16th. The Saturday evening performance at 7:30. Sunday will be at 2 o'clock. Once again, coming up 1 week from this weekend. Very exciting. And, of course, tickets available in advance at staugustineCommunityChorus.org. And, Peter Matthews, from your perspective of developing something like this from scratch, I mean, how do you even get started writing a piece of music? I mean, people can kind of, we can kind of get our arms around writing a book, right? Just start putting some sentences down. How do you get started doing something like this?
Well, that's the scariest moment, is to be, sitting in front of the blank piece of paper.
Right, right.
So you do it enough, and you think that it would get easier over the years, and in a sense it does, but there's still that initial spark that has to happen. And one of the nice things about writing for chorus is that you have a text, and that really helps you. That sort of gives you some focus as to what the mood's going to be, because, of course, my big thing is to mirror the text with the music, and hopefully that's what happens.
Well, it's all going to come together once again on Saturday, December 15th, Sunday, December 16th. Go to either show or both is fine with us. The evening show's 7:30 on Saturday the 15th, and then 2 o'clock on Sunday, December 16th. Both shows, of course, at the Cathedral Basilica, downtown St. Augustine. What a perfect time of year, right, Karen, to go to a show like this.
Yes, yes. And I do have a question, Mike. How many people are going to be singing and playing music for us?
We have about 90 people in the chorus for this concert, and then we have a brass octet, and we have a string quartet, so that's 12. We have Shannon on the organ, of course, and then we have percussion players too. So yeah,
and the children, right?
And the kids, that's another 30, 35. I'm not sure the number, but
big crowd, huh?
Yeah,
150 people right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be so exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, this will be a lot of fun. And we should mention, too, a lot of folks that are listening will say, maybe they sang in a chorus back in high school or college or something like that, or they've done something like this in the past, and this kind of, piques their interest that they would like to maybe perform someday. How do people out there listening, how can they participate in your chorus?
Well, I'm hoping all the tenors are listening.
Oh, yeah, you got a shortage of tenors?
Every chorus in the country is always searching for more tenors. We'd really love to have some more voices join us. We begin our next season, which is our pop season, January, the first Tuesday in January. I think it's the 8th. I'm kind of searching for my calendar as we're speaking. We meet at Memorial Presbyterian in the Fellowship Hall, and folks, if they're interested, should just go to our website, and there's a registration process there that's simple and easy. And then we'll have music ready, and they come in and sing. There's no audition for the chorus, just love for singing and a willingness to come in and learn your music.
Right, and follow the boss.
Well,
which is you.
Watch Mike. That's my ongoing theme with the singers.
Just watch Mike, and you'll be okay. Oh man, that voice, by the way, is Mike Sanflippo, and he is the music director of the St. Augustine Community Chorus. Peter Matthews is in the studio as well, and he is the composer of a piece that will be premiered on Saturday, December 15th and Sunday, December 16th, What Sweeter Music, and it's going to be a great time. Of course, these concerts have been going on now for 70 years in St. Augustine, and for so many of you, it is a holiday tradition, and we would hope that you would either add that or continue it if you're within the sound of our voice. Learn more by going to staugustincommunitychorus.org. That's staugustincommunitychorus.org. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back.
Years each.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're a young guy.
Hopefully.
You could do this for another 70 years. So.
Yeah, right.
So what does
But I
that
hope-
job
hope it'll be a
entail?
while.
What does that job entail? So you have, obviously folks from the community, and like you said, this is not an audition-oriented type chorus. So people who can sing, they're there. You have to, from my perspective, it seems like you have to get together a group of regular folks with some music experience and make them into a top-notch group.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. I think a lot of the work for the director is really the planning. Obviously, choosing the music is the hardest thing. People kind of joke with me because in May and June I'm talking about Christmas music and stuff. But
Yeah, put you in a good mood.
that's right. I'm looking at spring music now and next year's Christmas. There's just so much music out there. It's just so hard to whittle it down to an hour and a half program. Things that make sense together, things that work logistically together, features what you want to feature and all that. So, for instance, in this particular concert, I found this setting of that Gaudete by Michael Engelhardt, and it's a wonderful setting, and I decided Gaudete is Latin for rejoice, so that's where the title came from, and then we created the theme from there. Yeah, it's just going to be an exciting program. Like I said, picking the music is hard, and then organize everything, and then teaching it.
One of the decisions you made in picking the music was to have an original piece performed. Do you know if the St. Augustine Community Chorus has done that in the past?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think so. I've been trying, and I try for each program to include some music of living composers because I think it's part of our job is to, as a chorus, is to develop the choral art. And as I mentioned earlier, we support the youth chorus for that reason because young folks need that opportunity to understand and learn about choral singing. So in each program, I try to include, like I said, living composers. In this one, Michael Engelhardt doing the Gaudete, Randall Stroop, the ODA. I've had the opportunity to work with him over the years a few times. Great guy, wonderful composer. And then, of course, we have Peter here, who is alive and right next to me.
That's right. Peter Matthews is a composer, and he, of course, composed the original piece, What Sweeter Music, that will be performed at these two concerts taking place on December 15th and 16th at the Cathedral Basilica. And indeed, Peter, you are alive and well, right?
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, see,
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Why is it in your world that people become super famous after they've passed on?
Really? Well, my music is done all over the country, and this is really the first year. The chamber chorus did a couple of my pieces earlier this year, but this is the first time that I've ever had anything done locally, so it's a real honor for me, and to have it done at the Cathedral Basilica, the oldest parish in the country, and also in the oldest town. It's great.
Yeah. So, have you heard it performed yet in terms of in rehearsal?
One rehearsal, yes,
Yeah.
and then we'll do the dress rehearsal next week, and that will be it.
So how does that work, between you and Mike? So do you, give him some tips, or is it pretty much his baby once you've finished writing it?
It's pretty much his baby, and I think, as we both listen, we're both hearing the same thing, so we would pretty much come to the same conclusions, I think.
It'd be pretty exciting, though, on that Saturday night, right, December 15th, when the final, one of the final performances is done, and you're sitting there and you get to hear it performed. It's
a little nerve-wracking, but yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would think that's exciting. The piece itself is how long?
It's about 4 minutes.
Yeah, about 4 minutes. Yeah. Wow. And Mike, you get to direct something for the first that's never been heard by an audience.
Right, and also for all the singers, it's an opportunity for them to make music for the very first time. It's great having, Peter came into workshop with the chorus on last Tuesday, and it's just a special another level of rehearsal to have a composer in the room who can talk to the singers and try to pull a little more out of them, and
And a great
So-
experience for them, too.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, once again, if you're just tuning in, that voice is Mike Sanflippo. He is the music director of the St. Augustine Community Chorus. This is their 70th season. That's right, 70 years this has been going on. And, of course, the holiday event taking place Saturday, December 15th at 7:30 at night at the Cathedral Basilica. Tickets are still available. Also for Sunday, more of a matinee-type performance, December 16th at 2 o'clock, also at the Cathedral Basilica, and also a special appearance by the St. Augustine Youth Chorus. If you enjoy traditional Christmas music, Christmas carols, also some selections from Messiah, and of course this premiere of What Sweeter Music, all that's going to take place. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are incredibly affordable. There's some great discounts, too, for military with ID, and of course all children 10 and under get to go at no charge at all. Anything I left out, Mike?
No, just our 70th anniversary is continuing through May, and so on the website there you can get some information on.
Yeah, they want to talk.
Oh,
they
right,
want you
we
to talk
want-
about parking,
parking.
Mike. Yeah.
Parking
You
in
can
this
park in
town
Mike's
is so
driveway.
easy. It's not. I know the town is offering on Saturday some remote parking with shuttles that go then into the visitor center, and from the visitor center, where there's also a really large lot, as many people know, that's a paid lot. But then I guess the walk from the visitor center to the basilica is maybe 7 blocks or so, and I think we don't know our weather report that far ahead, but it'll be mild and wonderful.
People find parking. I mean, I know people always like to complain about it, but you know what? That's part of the joy and the excitement of downtown St. Augustine is that there's a crowd, and you'll
lots
figure
of
it
beautiful
out.
lights. So
Yeah, and as Mayor Shaver would say, go use the parking garage. That's why we built it. So.
And it's a wonderful garage.
Yeah, it's convenient to everything. Well, once again, for any other questions you might have, go to staugustincommunitychorus.org. That's staugustincommunitychorus.org. We're going to put a photograph of both Mike and Peter up on our Facebook page here in just a moment, along with all this information, so you can hopefully link with it. Share it, too, with others. There's some people that don't share your good taste. They might be listening to other radio stations right now, so we'd ask you to help us out. Get the word out, because we need to support great organizations like the St. Augustine Community Chorus. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in
Kevin,
today.
thank you. It was
Thanks, Kevin.
a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Appreciate it.